Whilst cloud has been around for a long time, the market trends show us that cloud adoption is increasing year on year and is going to continue to grow. So it's estimated that 75% of organisations are going to adopt a multi-cloud or hybrid cloud model. Significantly, the hybrid cloud spend is going to increase year on year exponentially from 2019 to 2022, and the vast majority of that growth is going to come from public cloud. If we start to analyse the reasons of why that's the case, the main driver is digital transformation. So ultimately, a lot of people saw IT as a function that just keeps the lights on, but more organisations are increasingly turning to IT to respond to market changes more quickly, to bring innovation to the market rapidly, and also to counter competitive threats. So in effect, cloud has become a key enabler for digital transformation and also acts as a foundation. I think there's a number of challenges for organisations. A lot of organisations tend to go really fast into cloud without becoming clear on their business outcomes. In addition to that, a lot of organisations end up going into cloud by accident rather than design, meaning that a lot of departments spin up their own pockets of shadow IT for public cloud, bypassing the IT department. And that has a knock-on effect. I think the number one reported problem amongst organisations is public cloud overspending. So this is typically where organisations have got a credit card, they're going around spending and there's no governance and control effectively around that. Other challenges around security and compliance. So things change all the time and a change could result in a security breach in terms of a policy or a compliance regulation, and there's no way to track that or get visibility of that as well. The other challenge is around skills and resources. So the cloud landscape is changing all the time, and part of the challenge is, how do you keep up to date with that? And also with a lot of things around cloud, you need to be skilled in multiple clouds and multiple disciplines, whether that's consultancy, migration, or operations. I think the first place to start is to define a cloud strategy. So that's aligning IT with the wider parts of the organisation, really being clear on the business outcomes of cloud. In addition to that, I think it's being, when you look at migrating to the cloud, not all applications can move to the cloud, so it's important to identify those, but also identify those quick wins. So those applications that can move to the cloud, it's important to prioritise them based on which one of those can deliver the best business outcome in the shortest period of time. I also recommend an application-centric approach when you're assessing workloads. What that essentially means is that you look at each workload application on a case-by-case basis, and you assess it to design it so it's optimized for cost, performance, resiliency, and performance. And going beyond that, it's really important to put governance in place. So I mentioned the challenges around public cloud overspending before. You need to put guardrails in place to put limits on budgets per department, and also if someone does go beyond their spending limit, alerts are generated, and similarly with security and compliance. So if someone makes a change and it all of a sudden breaches a security policy or compliance, an organisation needs to be made aware of that. Going to see a number of innovations over the next 5 years. I think if you look at the cloud infrastructure layer, virtual machines have been around for a long time, but I see that containers and serverless is going to come more to the forefront. And a lot of that is because due to the popularity within the development community. So the perception is that containers and serverless will speed up the continuous cycle of software code out into the market. So that's the infrastructure layer. Also, if we look at the platform layer, if you look at the big hyperscale public cloud providers, they've done a lot around AI, machine learning and data analytics, but expect that to continue to increase and get even better over the next 5 years. I mentioned there's about 100 features released every year, of which some of those will be passed over to those areas. So when you're looking at new innovation, you need to focus in on what business outcomes is this going to drive. And also there's no one size fits all. So when you're looking at new piece of innovation, it's going to be good for some use cases, but not so good for others. So it's important to keep that in mind. At Capita, we have a clear promise around what we can do around cloud. So our promise is to accelerate organizations' transition to the cloud and then help them maximize the benefits of cloud by ensuring that they can get a smooth transition, migration over to cloud into a resilient, secure and optimized cloud solution. And we deliver upon this promise using our Capita Cloud Services Framework, which is a suite of consultancy and managed services. In addition to that, for some of those applications that aren't ready for the cloud, we can help by delivering remote managed services. So we go in and optimize your workloads, and then we can modernize those over time to ensure that they're cloud ready at a later date. And I think if we look at the wider value of Capita and the real value proposition, I think it's the fact that we can cover the end-to-end digital transformation journey. So we offer services around digital services innovation, so we can help support clients with the development of AI, machine learning and data analytics. We provide workplace and collaboration services. We've got an extensive portfolio around that. And then also with security. So we have a 24/7 security operations center. We analyze logs, identify the threats that are genuine, and then we take remedial action against those as well. So I think that ultimately Capita can act as a single trusted provider because we cover that end-to-end journey for digital.